a lot of producers like David Foster, Quincy Jones, Phil Ramone that will come
Hmm.
in, and the most amazing thing that I've learned from them is that when they're producing a record and they're hiring a musician, they let that musician be creative, in the sense that when they come in, hey, like Paul Jackson Jr. or, any of the great studio players, he'd let them listen to the song and listen to their output in terms of creativity, what they come out part wise to play, even though they kind of direct them in the, in what they want with the music. The part really is a combination of what the producer is looking for, but what the artist, what the musician kind of gives them. So that being said, a lot of times, especially Quincy and Phil Ramone, they would come in, and even Jimmy Iovine, actually,
Mm.
when he took
Wow.
over A&M, they would come and literally listen to what's happening with the what the artist is doing and kind of say, yeah, it's pretty good, maybe try this or that, and walk out. And the engineer and the musician would be the one that kind of maybe work out the part or get something better. And the producer, will come in sometimes. Now there's some producers that stay in, but they would let the musician be creative and not. There's some producers that I work with. They come in with a lead sheet, and every single note they had to play, and it had to be what they want, which is okay, and they can do it. But that creative finding out, certain things that, instead of going from door number one, you go to door number two. That was what they made them do.
Yeah, that I love that. Yeah, it's I find for me personally when I'm working on a production, I'm a bass player, so as soon as I pick up a bass, it's gonna inspire me to do something and push things in a new direction, I think.
Right.
And also when you have more than one musician working on a record,
Right.
it just gets better and better with more musicians. So I
Well, back then, if you
think
needed a guitar player, if you needed a bass player, you would
yeah,
call a bass player and get their sense of, as a
yeah.
bass player. Today, um, if I needed a bass player, I'll get a keyboard player and play the bass part. And thinking about it as a bass player, right? And then if you do get a live bass player, they would have to play the part that they're hearing from the demo.
Yeah.
So it becomes very constrictive kind of a thing.